Welcome back to my channel. It has been so long since I've made a video on my balloon business. I've been getting a lot of questions, especially on my TikTok, because I used to post so much balloon content on there, and everyone's asking, do I still own my balloon business? And yes, I do. If you've been watching my YouTube channel, is I am traveling at the moment, and my goal when I started my balloon business was that it would run without me. I feel like that should be the goal with any business. You should be able to go away on holidays, you should be able to have time off, and your business should still be able to run without you. I cover more of this in the video I made a while ago. I'll make sure it's linked at the end, but my goal for the business from the very start was for it to be able to run without me. And we were super lucky. I don't know if it's luck, and when I say we, I mean me, but the business from 6 months in, it was doing that. It was running by itself. I didn't have to be there anymore. And to be honest, it was kind of like that. I was still in the business, but I didn't have to be there for it to run. And that was mainly because we were doing mainly weekend stuff. The business has definitely changed, and it's all changed due to COVID. So the business was doing really good, basically right up until COVID hit in around March 2020. Again, I cover more of this in depth in those other videos, but for the purpose of today's video, I'm just gonna give you a bit of an update of how it's going now, some of the challenges we've had to overcome, and some tips that I would have for anyone else that's wanting to maybe build their business up to a point where mine is, that it runs without me. So as you would have seen, we are traveling. My partner and I headed off on what is about to be probably about a 16-week trip around Australia. We have gone up the center of Australia and then crossed into Western Australia where we are right now. And we've probably got around 6 or 7 weeks left before we head home, probably aiming to get home around the start of December. So to quickly recap, when COVID hit back in March 2020, I had team members running it for me. And when COVID hit, I stepped back into the business basically full time, although we were closed the first couple of lockdowns and then we sort of pivoted the business, but I didn't have staff. Like, I didn't have staff because we didn't have work because everything was closed. And then during lockdown, I don't know if it was between lockdown 1 and 2 or between 2 and 3, but that's when I completely transformed the business into what it is today, which is doing deliveries 7 days a week. So what we realized during COVID is, although lockdowns are happening and we can't have big events to celebrate, big milestones, people still wanted to be able to send balloons or like a gift to someone whilst they're in lockdown. And balloons are super popular with kids. We obviously do like heaps of different stuff too. We do the big numbers, we do the big balloon bouquets, we do like anything really. And we realized that there is a market for that still during a pandemic, because the business before COVID, all we did was big weekend installs. We didn't do daily delivery stuff because we didn't see the market for it. In my hometown Ballarat, where my business is, and my business is called Bespoke Balloons Ballarat. I'll insert it on the screen now. If you want to check out some of our work, you can check it out on our Instagram page or our Facebook page. As my hometown started to come out of lockdowns, to be honest, it's only really since lockdown, the recent one, that we've started to come out of it. We've been in seven lockdowns. And I don't know if there's exactly 7, but they're sort of like, yeah, I think it's 7. I think it's 7. So when we started doing our daily deliveries with all the helium stuff, that really combated the lockdowns because we were still able to trade during lockdowns doing non-contact deliveries. I fully transformed our website. We have a full e-commerce website where people can order balloons on our website, and then they can order them, select the date, and we go and deliver them for them on that date. Now this was great because it brought in a whole new income stream for the business that could withstand a lockdown. However, it also presented itself with new problems when it came to the business running without me and me not having to be there. When my partner and I started planning this trip around Australia, I was faced with a couple of options. One, I could close the business while we're away, which seems dramatic, but because my hometown was going in and out of lockdowns, I thought it's a possibility, we could do that. The other option too was obviously to hire staff and have them running it for me. And obviously we've done this in the past, but we had new things. So for example, and what I'm trying to get at is, with the new helium deliveries that we started doing, some days were really busy and then some days could be really quiet. So it can be really sporadic work. And I thought hiring for that is gonna be really hard because it's not full-time work. The hours vary so much. Like some days you might have no deliveries and the next day you might have 15. Like it's completely all over the place. And I thought, who is that really gonna suit? Anyway, I was super lucky and I found the perfect team, and they have been doing a phenomenal job while I'm away, but it definitely hasn't been without its challenges. One of the main challenges that the team has had whilst I'm away is definitely staffing. Like, and this was the hard part to sort of grasp before I left. Like, I wanted the team to be set up as much as possible, but there was also a lot of unknown. Were we going to go back into a lockdown? Were we allowed to have events again? We also had a lot of people that had cancelled from when they'd booked things during lockdowns. Were they going to be able to have the same things that they wanted, or did we have other bookings? Like, there was just so much unknown. But I sat down and I fully thought about it, and I was like, I can do what I can do. I can't foresee the future. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's just focus on today. So before I left, we had 5 team members. 3 of those team members were relatively new. So we did a lot of training. We didn't do a lot of training. We did as much training as we possibly could. And then I left for my trip. Now, once I left, Ballarat ended up going back into a lockdown, and what we found is that during lockdowns, we get crazy busy with helium deliveries. That's our week, 7 days a week. We're flat out with deliveries. I think there was one day where they got up to like 17 deliveries or something in a day, which that doesn't seem like a lot, but that's just 17 orders. Within those orders, there might be 4 or 5 bunches in an order. Like, it can get really crazy. So the girls have done a phenomenal job, and I'm so grateful for them. I can't wait to get back home, take everyone out for dinner. But there have been challenges along the way, and 5 obviously sounds like a big number for staff, but some of the staff can only work weekends, some of them can only work weekdays. A lot of them have other jobs, so this is just like a casual job on the side. So that brings its own problems of not having enough staff to complete jobs. We have had to call on family and friends a few times to help out. But that is definitely one of the biggest challenges, and something that, I don't know, it makes it, how do I describe this? Like, it was something I couldn't really plan for because I didn't really know. I didn't want to go and hire an extra like 4 staff when we had no work when I was still there. So yeah, that's been one of the challenges, is staffing and making sure we have enough staff so the girls have enough hands on jobs to get everything finished. Whilst I've been away, my team have been doing some incredible installations lately. I'll put some up on the screen. I absolutely love this blue and gold one. This was for a local school in Ballarat for, I think, like an event night sort of thing. We've also done a few outdoor installations. There are rules and regulations in Victoria at the moment which permit you to have an event outdoors with set numbers. These are really cool. I love the bright colors in this. If you want to learn how to do all this balloon garland stuff, or if you're wanting to learn how to start a successful balloon garland business from someone who's done it, check out my balloon garland course. If you use the code YouTube, you'll get 50% off. I would highly recommend it because it covers absolutely everything that you need to know to start a successful business. And I wish I had something like this before I started my business, because I wasted so much money and time. I wasted so much time on not knowing things that this course covers. Something that is exciting though is that probably within the last 2 weeks, we've really started to notice that we're getting a lot more inquiries for our weekend work. Now, our weekend work is what the business originally started on, and that is our installs. Installs are our massive garlands and walls and flower walls and like just huge installations that really make an event pop and stand out. Perfect backdrops for photos, all that sort of stuff. We are starting to see a slow rise of that, and I think with the vaccination rates in Victoria, we're going to start to see the end of lockdowns happening, which is super exciting for any business in the event space. I think this is super exciting too, because if you're watching this and you ever thought about starting a balloon business and you're in a place where you're coming out of lockdowns, or maybe you've been through lockdowns and events are starting to really pick up, now is the time to get involved in the events industry. So I have a balloon garland business course. So I'm planning on bringing out some new courses. I'm going to talk about this now. So I created a balloon garland business course back in December, and I've now have over 100 people that have bought that course and have started to start their businesses from all over the world, America, everywhere. Like, it's so cool. But I also want to bring out like a short garland course for people that don't really want to start a business in it but want to learn how to make garlands. And I also want to bring out a short helium course, because I know a lot of people struggle with like helium pricing and how to make bunches and confetti balloons, all that sort of stuff. So that's definitely something that I'm considering, and if it's something you're interested in, make sure to send me a message on Instagram and I'll make sure to add you to the waitlist for when it does launch. Something I did want to add too is this trip that I'm on at the moment, where I've had the last 9 weeks on the road, living in a rooftop tent, camping in beautiful places. It's really given me time to think about things that I want to change in the business and new things I want to bring in and planning for the future. This is something I had never really had this amount of time to do, and it's just been so good. I cannot wait to see where my balloon business is within the next 2 to 5 years. Now I'm going to get back to holidaying. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.